Oh, killer comedy. What the hell happened, man? 1316 Killer. You used to be so funny. I used to laugh my ass off at your videos and your comedy. But now you're just... You're no different than... You tried so hard to be like the John Olivers and the Trevor Noahs and all those other comedians. I'll put that in air quotes. You're trying so hard to cater to these people. It's just sad. Like, you used to be so funny, man. What happened? Let's take a look at this video right here. Battlefield 5 and women in video games. Real talk with a real gamer / history teacher at Best Buy. Let's see what this cancer's all about. Okay, let's just start from the beginning.
Alright, so I ran into this guy at GameStop, and then he was buying some games, and then I came in here, and he ran into me again. I'm now at Best Buy, and we're looking at games, we're talking about video games, and I'm going to ask him a question, and that's in regards to, did you hear about the whole Battlefield nonsense?
Which part?
There's people upset because there's a woman in the trailer.
Okay, yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Neither do I.
Okay, and I notice you're here with your daughter and you're here with your son. And you're a video gamer and you probably grow up playing games with them, and that's super cool.
Right.
And so, obviously, how do I word this? People are trying to say they're not sexist, okay? But my thing is, I'm sure there's a few people out there that aren't sexist, okay? But at the same time, all these people complaining didn't have a problem with, they're saying it's unrealistic, okay?
So, alright, to answer your question, I'm also...
Okay, wait, before we let him answer this question, don't you think it's funny how this guy, 1316 Killer, he's best known for just making a whole bunch of videos on Review Tech USA. He's made at least 100 videos on Review Tech USA. It's all about, oh, Rich, he tries so hard to be a journalist. What are you doing right now, dude? You're pretending to be a journalist right now, interviewing someone at Best Buy. Like who the hell, like what? It's just ridiculous. Like, how are we supposed to take this, like, seriously? Yeah, like, you make all these joke videos, and now you're being all serious doing interviews with people.
Teacher.
Right.
So, like, you can't count out the contributions made by the opposite sex.
Okay, no. No. Okay, people aren't saying that women did not contribute to the war effort, but they weren't in the front lines with a cyber arm, my guy. Like, what are you talking about? Look at this. Look at his face. Like, yeah, you're totally right, dude. Like, yeah, these people don't understand. It's sexist because women did contribute to the war. Okay, but no one's saying that they didn't. That's the thing. But to represent them as such a vital effort on the front lines, that's what people have a problem with. On the front lines of the battlefield, people are saying, "Oh, well, women are just able to customize. Like, you could just customize whatever character you want. How is that a problem? More customization is a good thing." But it extends beyond that. The woman is on the cover of the damn game, featured in the damn trailer. They're obviously trying to cater to the social justice crowd, people who don't even play video games in the first place. I don't understand why people are trying to spin this as sexist when people are saying, look, why are we focusing on women so much when they played such a minuscule role in the front lines? Now, if you want to have a storyline where women contributed a lot as medics and all that stuff, then that's fine. People aren't saying that women don't belong in the game. But to say that women, that this is realistic because they did contribute to the war is just ridiculous. But let's just continue.
I'm a guy, so when I say opposite sex, I mean ladies.
Exactly.
Throughout history. Just because it's not often documented, that doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, it's not often documented. That's for a reason, because it was so rare. So if it was so rare, like you're acknowledging, then why is it we're focusing so much on them? How is that realistic then? You're admitting that it was such a rare occurrence for women to be fighting in the battlefield. But meanwhile, like I said, the women's vote is on the cover of the damn game. The woman is being featured in the trailer. So you're pretty much agreeing that it's not realistic.
You know, I'm holding my daughter right here, and like, I'm not gonna tell her that she can't do certain things just because she's a girl.
Exactly.
That she can't do certain things because she's a girl. Well, I'm sorry, but if I had a daughter, I would tell her, yeah, no, you can't be a World War II fighter because they didn't allow women to fight in the battlefield. Like, what? I'm not going to tell women they can't do... Okay, that's great, but this is a game that takes place in the past. If you want a modern military shooter where you have women kicking ass, no one has a problem with that. But this is revisionist history at its finest. You're revising history. That's what you're doing. This isn't a depiction of World War II. It's like in Call of Duty World War II, they advertised the game as historically accurate. Meanwhile, you didn't have swastikas in the game. You had black women fighting for the Third Reich. Yeah, that's a great thing. You're a black father. You're going to tell your black daughter that she can fight for the Third Reich when you're playing Call of Duty World War II? Oh, you're such a role model. Give me a break. How does this make any sense to people? There are actually people who believe this crap, who agree with this. And this video has way more likes than dislikes, which shouldn't be a thing.
Exactly, brother.
Stupid.
Exactly, brother. Oh my god. Exactly, brother. He's definitely one of those people that has white guilt. You can tell. He looks like someone with white guilt. The 1316 killer. You know, he acts all tough and mighty, but, you know, when it comes to white privilege, oh yes, I have privilege. I'm so privileged. It's just, and yeah, this is unscripted. I'm not using a script or anything, just because I feel like it's more entertaining to just react to this. Because I skimmed through it a little bit, but I didn't watch the whole video. But I did watch a little bit of it, and I'm like, dude, I have to make a video on this. But doesn't this guy look like someone that just has so much white guilt? He has so much white guilt. It's... you can tell.
And you know, if you really don't want to support it, then don't buy it.
Then don't buy it.
Talk with your money, but I kind of...
people aren't gonna buy it, don't worry.
I like the whole expansion. Like, you're seeing heroines and heroes of all different cultures, races, all across these games. And I like...
That's fine and all, but again, this is a World War II game. Not a modern game, not a futuristic game. This is in World War II. World War II. I need to emphasize that. World War II took place between 1939 and 1945. Okay? During that time period, women were never allowed to fight on the battlefield. The only time that women did fight was for the Red Army. And people are bringing that up. Well, they did fight for the Red Army. Well, okay, but as far as I know, in Battlefield 5, it's not like being a woman is exclusive to the Red Army faction. You can play as a woman in any of the factions, like you could in World War II. You could be a black female, whether you're fighting for the Third Reich or you're fighting for the Japanese Empire. You can be a black woman. It's just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous that people are saying that you're sexist if you're pointing this out. No. It's probably sexist to ignore it, actually. To ignore that women actually didn't play a vital battlefield role in World War II because, well, that was for a reason. Not because women weren't capable. It was because women were not allowed. So you're kind of whitewashing history to try to promote diversity today. It's just, it doesn't work. If you want to promote diversity so bad, then do it. But don't do that by revising history.
And not to cut you off, but Dad, since you're gonna, and the thing is, like, there's legitimately people out there, because the problem with the video game community to me on YouTube is you always hear the loudest idiots
Yes.
yelling
It's the
and
largest-
complaining about stuff, right?
The squeakiest wheel gets the oil.
And I meet people like you, and I don't hear that. And I'm not that person, and my friends aren't that people. But what I see on YouTube is these people. And the funny thing is,
It's funny, you say you're not that person, but what kind of videos do you make? You're always like, you're the person that you claim that you hate 1316 Killer, because you're always making video responses. You're always making videos in response to people in the gaming community that you think are acting like idiots. But you're kind of acting like the idiot in the process. I mean, this whole interview just proves, like, that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. This interview, come on, give me a break. And like, oh, I'm not like these people on YouTube. But how are you any different than them, really? You're just like them, except you have white guilt.
the same people that also yell and scream about social justice warriors, and they talk about video game nerds, but they're the ones that sound the most ignorant in regards to this matter.
Well, to that I just say, man, read a book.
Yeah.
Learn the history. Like, know what you're talking
Learn the history? I think we already covered that, but okay.
about before you open your mouth.
Right. And the thing is, like, once again, they didn't have a problem with zombies in Call of Duty. They weren't yelling, this is unrealistic.
Oh
right?
my god, are you kidding me? Nazi zombies is separate from everything else. You're actually comparing Nazi zombies to what's going on right now. I didn't think that you could have actually been that stupid. Like, at first I thought you were just completely ignorant. But now that you're comparing Nazi zombies, you didn't complain about Nazi zombies. Well, Nazis weren't in multiplayer, you idiot. I can't believe you actually did that. You actually compared Nazi zombies to having black female Nazis in Call of Duty World War II. I'm sure he doesn't have a problem with that, if he doesn't have a problem with this. And having women with cyber arms kicking ass and having women prominently featured in the game like it's something that actually happened. Women didn't play a vital role in the battlefield. So, pointing that out, you're saying, oh, well, you had Nazi zombies. People didn't complain about Nazi zombies. Are you really that stupid? You're really that stupid that you're comparing Nazi zombies to this, when it's a co-op mode, separate from everything else, not part of the story, not part of the immersive World War II experience. It's an arcade mode, and it's advertised as it. You can't be oh my god, wow. Wow, and I didn't think it could be any worse, but he actually said that.
And the fact they want it to be realistic, but if it was realistic, we wouldn't even be playing it, because as soon as we got shot, we wouldn't have a second life.
Oh my god. So, and then he's talking about Respawn. He's trying to bring the whole argument, well, you can't say anything can be realistic in a video game because you have respawns, and video games can never be realistic. And to that I agree to an extent, that you can never be fully immersed in a video game, because yes, you respawn after you die. It's a video game. You have crosshairs, you have auto aim, you have all that stuff. So to that extent, I understand the point he's trying to make, but it falls flat when you take into consideration that immersion isn't all about that. Like, immersion is just being in the environment and feeling like you're part of the experience. Yes, you have your crosshairs, and you respawn when you die. And of course, every video game that you have, there's always going to be a balance between fun and realism, if they even want to have realism. Sometimes games like, you have games like Saints Row that just go completely balls to the wall. But you also have games like Insurgency that try to go completely realistic. But most successful AAA games try to find a middle ground. Game that's really fun, but at the same time is immersive. So when you say, oh, they have, you can respawn in a video game, so automatically talking about immersion and realism is off the table. But that's not off the table, because people buy games to be immersed into the world. So that point kind of falls flat. This revisionist alternate history of World War II, people don't like it, because what does it do? It promotes diversity. Okay, but was there diversity in 1945 in the battlefield? No, there wasn't. So why, like, I just can't, I can't fathom, I don't know what the fuck to say about this at this point. I'm gonna keep going on. There's still 4 minutes left. Hopefully
like
he
video games.
makes better
Exactly.
points.
People play video games for a reason.
And it's a creative license because it's art and it's video games. And the thing is, like, you have your daughter here, and so it boggles my mind because I saw a grown man on YouTube, but he's with his wife, and his wife is filming him, and he gets up and he says, "Tell me that you're a," right? Or he does, so I won't say it. He says, "Tell me you're a," he goes, "Say it. Say it." And you could tell that his wife was thrown off. You could even tell that his friend was thrown off. And then he goes, "See, I can't take this seriously. You can't be put, you're not, women are not, you shouldn't be in a role in a video game." And
Dude, I'm not a lip reader, so I don't even know what the hell he's saying. But it doesn't really matter because he's talking about grown men on YouTube. Meanwhile, this is a guy that does nothing but sit all day making YouTube videos. He has some, I don't know what job he has, but it can't be too lucrative. And, yeah, he just sits on YouTube all day, makes all these joke videos, and then he has toys on his wall. And he looks like a soy boy. So, to say grown men on YouTube are doing this, you can't criticize other grown adults on YouTube when you have toys on your wall, you make an ass out of yourself, and it's all in the name of comedy. You know, you're gonna make that excuse, but you're still a joke, man. And you can't question other people's adulthood when you do the stuff that you do. I'm just saying. And you have your girlfriend or significant other recording you and filming you. So you're such a hypocrite right now. you have no self-awareness at all.
like, really? And it was just cringeworthy to see that. And I was just like, wow, are you serious?
You don't see the cringe in your own content?
He doesn't represent the masses.
Right. What he represents is toxic.
He doesn't represent the masses. Meanwhile, the Battlefield 5 trailer has way more dislikes than likes.
Toxic masculinity.
Toxic masculinity. Oh my god. He just went full SJW, full social justice. Toxic masculinity. Oh, brother. I still get a kick out of that, even though like it's kind of like a rundown joke, the whole social justice warrior and the soy boy talking about toxic masculinity. But I still get a kick out of it. Saying, "Oh, this is just toxic masculinity." Oh my god. He really is a full SJW tart, isn't he?
Well, he represents himself.
Yeah, exactly. And he's in that bubble because he doesn't seem to think women play video games.
No one's saying that women don't play video games. That's really not what the question is here. And, you know, you say that you're in the bubble. You say that these people are in a bubble. Meanwhile, you're actually in the minority here. Like I said, the video has way more dislikes than likes on YouTube. And you could say, oh, it's just trolls or whatever. But the fact is, the game has gotten way more backlash than support on this issue. So when you say people are living in their own bubble and they're being in their own echo chamber, how about you guys take a look in the mirror? Because that's exactly what you guys are in right now. You're in your own little echo chamber. Everyone outside of that little echo chamber is a racist, is a sexist, and so on and so forth. But you don't realize that you are not living in reality right now. You do not represent the majority, even though you think you do. Because the social justice type crowd aren't the ones playing these video games. I'm not saying that women don't play video games, but these social justice people that they just don't play games like Battlefield and Call of Duty. They don't. I mean, if they do, they're a minority. Because the majority of people are just people who don't give a fuck about the political bullshit, about the social justice bullshit. They just want to play their damn game. They don't want this political crap forced on them. You guys are in a minority here.
He needs to read a book.
Yeah,
Like,
read a book.
you know, he people always try to put people into boxes, stereotypes, but like I'm a teacher and I teach history.
Oh no, you didn't say that. He's a history teacher that teaches history, but he doesn't even know the history of World War II. Yeah, that's great.
I know that a lot of times those stereotypes hold no weight.
Right.
None whatsoever.
Right.
People who say, oh, you're too old to be gaming. But the average gamer is like 34.
And that's the thing. The guy's like mid-30s, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
That's not even a kid.
Yeah.
And he has a daughter, and I'm like, what happens when your daughter grows up, who's playing games now, and she comes across that video? Like, how do you even explain that to your daughter?
No one's saying that women can't play video games, but to feature women in a game where it takes place in a setting where women did not have a prominent role in the battlefield. You're just not grasping this concept, dude. You just don't understand. It's all about sexism. Meanwhile, people are okay with games like Tomb Raider. People are okay with games that feature women. If Battlefield 5 was a modern shooter and it had women in it, you wouldn't have people complaining. I can guarantee you that, dude. But it's, like I said, you're trying to revise history, and that's where people take the issue with it. And it's completely breaking immersion when, you're immersing yourself into a realistic World War II battlefield setting. And then you run into a black person, a black woman, that's fighting for the Nazis. Yeah, people are going to have a problem with that. And yeah, a woman walking around with a robot arm killing people people are going to have a problem with that because it's not representative of real life history. And you could say whatever you want. Oh, video games aren't realistic. Video games aren't realistic. Realism and immersion are not automatically connected with one another. You can have a game that's not necessarily realistic, but you can be immersed in it. So it's just ridiculous. You have so many. We're not protesting every game that has women in it, but when you try to revise history, that's when people take an issue with it, and you just will never understand it. You'll never understand because like I said, you're in your own little echo chamber.
You know what I'm saying? It's sad. It's just sad.
There's also, some people have their online persona, and then they have like their real life persona.
Right.
But to me,
I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of them. 1316 Killer has his real life persona and his online persona. You see his other YouTube videos where he makes an ass out of himself. He acts like an autist, but he's out in a public setting and he's trying to act all professional, talking about toxic masculinity and talking about, all this stuff, acting like a gentleman. But you see his YouTube videos, he has a completely different persona, right?
It's an online persona, though, because I looked back and he was saying this stuff 3 years ago, and then he told everybody, see, it's coming. I told you these social justice wars, and they think there's people out there that think these games are being engineered because of some bigger picture, and I'm like, no, there's fun. But if it's not.
But that is the case. That is what's going on, because why else would you try to promote diversity in games that take place in World War I and World War II? Like, you're not getting it. Yeah, it is part of trying to promote diversity. And you trying to act like it's not part of some social justice scheme. It is! Because if there wasn't this whole push for diversity, I guarantee you that a woman would not be on the cover of the damn game. Just saying. You don't get it. You can't comprehend it, but it's so simple. People don't like when you force diversity down people's throats, so much so that you revise history in the process. Okay? If you want to promote diversity in certain games, people don't really necessarily have an issue with that. I didn't see mass outrage and mass dislikes when the new Tomb Raider was revealed. I didn't see mass dislikes when other game, the Uncharted Lost Legacy was revealed. I can go on and on and on and on and on. Like, we're not telling women that, oh, they should only be playing Barbie Princess or whatever. No, they have games where women are kicking ass and killing people, and it's fun. But Stay away from World War II. Like, that's not so hard to ask. You want your diversity, you already have your games. Stop trying to also revise history. No.
Fun, they're not
Exactly.
It has to be, and before anything else, the game has to be fun.
Exactly.
So
And you know, Battlefield's, it's been fun to me.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but
I mean, yeah, it's whatever it is. It is what it is, and it does have its audience.
right. So, but it is artwork.
I think it's great that they're expanding.
Right.
I mean, why not?
Well, I was telling my girlfriend this, like, and then I'll shut this off. But if you went into like a museum, and does this make sense to you? Is I guess is what I'm asking you. And this is how I was explaining it to her. And there was pictures of art on the wall. And let's say the pictures of art were of a heterosexual couple, and another piece of art was not a heterosexual couple. You couldn't, like, that may not be your taste. One of those pictures may not be your taste, but you couldn't say one isn't art.
But this is ancient Greece.
Yeah.
Like, if you know anything about Greek history,
There you
know
go
that
again.
It was everywhere.
Are you trying to be smart? Are
No,
you trying
I'm
to be
not.
smart
No,
because
I
you're a
am
teacher?
smart. No,
Are you
I
trying to
am.
be smart because you're... Don't be smart on my video.
No, this is who I am, though.
Were gay people rolling around and kissing and making out with each other on the World War II battlefield while artillery was going off?